It's no time for reasons. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the world trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Alright guys, welcome back to another Sunday Fun Day. I don't know if I'm too close, but I got a new setup here. I am your boy Dudley Do-Right. Welcome to my channel. I come to you live every Sunday at 8 p.m. We've been struggling, figuring out which platform is right for this live broadcast, and I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it everywhere I can, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, wherever you guys can receive value. But today is October the 25th. So what are you doing with your life to advance your future? Are you still dreaming, or are you executing? It's time to start executing on our dreams today. So use me as a resource. I'm unselfish. People are living around me. People are dying around me. So what do you want to say about yourself? What do you want people to say about you in this lifetime? So I want to motivate and inspire you guys to do more. So today, in this Sunday Fun Day, we're really basically going to talk about a common topic. A lot of people kind of talk about this who really don't know what type of entity structure is really good for their business. They're like, should I get an LLC? Should I start an LLC up? Or should I get a corporation? You know, would I make more money doing this? And would I make less money doing that? It's really not about money. It's all about tax savings. So a lot of people, you know, go into business, they start an LLC. Hopefully they may have a nice business model. They know where their client is. They know where their audience is. They know how to convert them. So they make a lot of money within their LLC. So I gave you guys an example today to where a guy named Bob owns an Airbnb. He rents out a spare room in his house, and he makes pretty decent money. For simplistic terms, we're going to say he made $100K throughout the whole year. In 2019, Bob made $100K. Now, he just received a 1099. Why does this keep on going? He just received a 1099 from Airbnb. They sent him a 1099, said, hey, you have this 1099, other income, and you can do whatever you want with it, right? So Airbnb sends a 1099 to Bob. Now, Bob has to report this on his taxes because Airbnb sends a 1099 to him, but they also send the 1099 to the IRS. So the IRS is waiting on Bob to claim it on his tax return. So this is what happens when you receive a 1099. The IRS already knows what you made. You just got to true up. You just got to tell them, hey, this is what I made and this is my expenses. Now let's get into the magic of it, right? So we have two scenarios. Bob can either have an LLC, just a single member LLC, just him, you know, where he had just a business bank account set up, and he just, you know, receives his money. He deposits it into his business checking account, and he goes about his day. He runs all of his expenses and stuff through the business bank account. And that's what we want you to do as tax accountants. We love people who separate their personal from business. But Bob sets up an LLC, and he receives a 1099 for $100K, right? He receives a 1099 for $100K. So a lot of people want to know, like, is it great to have an S corp or an LLC? So in this scenario, Bob receives $100K, right? And he receives $100K. So this is what happens on the tax side when you select either entity, when you select an LLC or select an S corp. So Bob receives this 100K. You guys can see that. So on this 100K, Bob pays 15.3% in FICA. He pays 15.3% in FICA. That's your Social Security. That's your Medicare, right? That's all on your paycheck. For people who receive W-2s, that's what's on your paycheck. That's what they take out. They take out a thing called federal withholdings, Social Security, and Medicare. So, being that he only receives a 1099, he doesn't receive a W-2, he has to pay 15.3% on his money. Then he has to turn around and pay his income tax on this money, right? So his income tax level, let's say he made 100K, his income tax level, his income tax rate in his bracket, I don't know if I'm too close or too far, let me guys know in the comments, but his income tax rate at 100K gets him a 24% tax rate. He pays 24% in income tax. So he has 15.3% self-employment tax on the 100K. Then he has to pay 24% in his income tax. Then he has to pay state taxes. Uncle Sam just screwing this guy up. State taxes are around 5%. On average, like 5%. State taxes. So we add all this up. This guy paying around, on average, 40%. This guy's paying 40% in taxes because he has an LLC set up. This guy's paying 40% on 100K, which means his take-home pay is 60K. His take-home pay is 60K, right? But what is he paying taxes? 40K. And I'm just using very simple terms so people can get this. He pays 40 grand in taxes. Now, you guys know, some people and most people are like this, and some people are really like advantageous about keeping records and stuff like that and staying ahead of the game, but most people are not. So if you make 100K throughout the year in any business that you have, you are not going to hold on to $40,000. So this is how people get caught up when they're starting a business and it's successful. People wondering like, why am I paying so many taxes? It is because you are not preparing for self-employment tax, the income tax level that you're going to be in, and the state tax. So, let's say Bob comes to Dudley Accounting Services. Hey, like Dudley Do-Right, I know you guys do those live videos, and I've been watching those live videos, and I want to know how I can save money on taxes. And I'm like, come here, yeah, Bob, come on in the room. We would love to help you. So Bob comes to us for tax planning. So for tax planning, what we would do, this LLC here, right, this LLC, and it only makes sense. Guys, if you guys are not making over, if you're not making over $30,000 in net income, 25, let's say 25, you're not making $25 to $35, $25 to $30,000 in net income. So that's gross income minus your expenses equals your net income. If you're not making between 25K and 30K, you don't need to do this. You don't need to do this because you run into all different other problems. But I'm gonna walk you through what Bob's tax situation will be like if he had an S corp. So we start with our 100K, my big head in the way. We start with our 100K in income, right? And what the S Corp allows us to do, it's a small corporation. This is why it's called an S Corp. It's a small corporation that we treat as a corporation. It has its own shareholders, meaning that if you own this S Corp, you are the number one shareholder, right? This allows us to take a salary. So we split this 100K up of income that he received from the 1099, from the Airbnbs. We take the 100K, and let's say we have to give them, and this is a key part, we have to give them a reasonable salary. Now, what does reasonable salary mean? Taking $2,000 of a salary out of 100K is not reasonable, right? The IRS is going to come back and say, hey, you didn't give yourself a reasonable salary here. Now you got to owe us all these back taxes. And you don't want to do that. You want to be safe. So a reasonable salary here would be, making 100K would be $40,000 in a salary. This $40,000 is ran through payroll. So payroll, and we know what payroll is. Payroll means W-2 income. W-2 income. I like my little fancy board I got here. Now I'm able to like talk to you guys, analyze. Now you got your W-2 income here. We're going to give Bob a $40,000 salary. This $40,000 salary pays 15.3. Can't type. I say type, can't write. That looks mumbo jumbo. I hope you guys can see that. Yeah. 15.3% in self-employment tax. This 40K is not 100K anymore, right? So he's not in the same tax bracket anymore. So it's 40K. See the next tax bracket lower. Not familiar. I'm saying around 14%. Don't quote me on that, but it's around 14% in income tax. 14% income tax. Then he pays the state. States want their money. Alright? So, let me just double check, because this is, I want to be close to as real as possible with you guys. So, let's check my handy dandy 2019 tax bracket. All right. Now the tax bracket is depending on whether you're single, married, filing jointly, or head of household. We're not really getting into specifics with this example. We're just giving you the bare basics to where it's at. So, 40K. Jeez. I hope that's not right. That's not good. Let me dig a little deeper here. And that's still high. And I want to give you guys a realist example. So give me a second. Trying to know some music for y'all. Y'all can barely hear that. Oh well. You guys can hear it, right? Alright, so here is a major difference, guys. I done found it here. So I done found the tax bracket here. So Bob is at the cusp at 40K. you got a tax rate. You got a tax rate at 12% tax rate at $39,475, and you'll be taxed 12%. If you go over this, you'll be taxed at 22%. That's a huge difference. So you think Bob here can deduct a couple things to get down below that 39,475? I think so. So realistically, he's going to be at a income tax level of 12%. So just leave it. We're going to leave it at 14 because it's compensating for the excess over the 37,475. So we're going to leave it at 14%. All right. So that tax rate for his W-2, remember, he's only paying self-employment tax, income tax, and state taxes. State tax. So he's only paying 15%, 14%. So he's at around, what is that? 15, 30, 35%. So he's around 35% on his money that he has to pay on 40 grand, right? And here's the beauty of an S corp. You get to take a salary of $40K and the $60,000 that you don't take in a salary in an S corp. It comes to you through distributions, dividends, whatever you want to call it, a draw, not a draw, distributions. So say if you own stocks or something, you guys are probably familiar with stocks, and you guys have, you guys get dividends from stocks. You guys got to pay taxes on those dividends, all right? So he pays only the income tax. He only pays the income tax. He gets a K1 through the S corp, which is a pass-through. So it passes through to his 1040, which is his personal 1040 return. So he gets a K1 of 60K, and he only pays 14% income. So he pays 14% income tax on his $60,000. He pays 35% on 40 grand. You guys starting to see the difference here between paying 40% on 100K? So Bob is smart. He comes and seeks out help. He seeks out an accountant to help him out, CPA to help him out. And they set up this for him, right? It's really not too difficult to conceptualize. That's why I really like to draw it out, for people. So having an LLC or an S corp doesn't really tell you like how successful you're gonna be, or you're gonna make more money this way, or anything like that. I have some clients who come to me like, "Oh, it makes more money if I get a corporation and stuff like that." It is how you're taxed. The main thing with wealthy people, they have to figure out how to keep their dollars from Uncle Sam. And this is how they do it. So 40K you receive in your W-2, which you run your own payroll. And this is kind of why it gets a little bit expensive. You run your own payroll, you get a W-2, pay self-employment tax, income tax, state tax, 35%. You take that 60 grand that you made from Airbnb, and you only pay income tax on that amount. This tends to get roughly, and if I'm not going to really break down the math, but we're able to save 10 to 20. We're able to save $10,000 to $20,000 in taxes for people just by doing this simple tax plan, right? So a lot of people just really want to know, is an LLC what I need to do, to start off? You damn right it is. So start your business off with an LLC. Figure out your business model and what you're going to be doing. Figure out where your clients at, where they hang out. Figure out how you're going to get your product or service in front of them and get them to convert, so you can make your income at $25K or $30K in net income. This is when you want to seek out, okay, now I'm making money, right? Now I'm making money. Now I need to strategize on how to keep more of what I make. So this has been a simple explanation, really simplex. Don't grill me and stuff on the numbers exactly, because it's a simple example, so you guys can get what we're talking about. But you end up saving around $20,000 just by doing this simple S corp election. So thank you guys for tuning in. I think I don't have anything else. So if you guys want to visit me, this will be on my Facebook page. This will be on my YouTube channel. Dudley Do Right is my YouTube channel. And visit me on my website at dudleyaccountingservices.com. That'll be in a link in the description below. So any questions or anything you guys have, go ahead and leave comments below. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you guys. I shall see. I'm going to get this camera thing right, where I need to stand and where I need to be. But we're going to have fun with this. We're going to have fun. I'm here to let you guys know what I know. And I'm unselfish with what I know. So don't hesitate to reach out. DudleyAccountingServices.com. We want to be a resource to you guys. All right, I'll see you next Sunday. Peace.